Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you've all had a good weekend. Hope you had some good sales. My sales were quite good, to be fair, but then that was mainly due to one big sale. So if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't say it was amazing, but still a decent weekend of sales, to be fair. But then the old shop fee came out, the old 92 quid, that made a dent in it. But at least that was paid, I suppose, got that out of the way. So what I'm going to do, I'm just have a quick recap of what sold this weekend. I've pretty much got most of it out ready to get packed and posted. There's one I've got to get from the unit. Got some vintage sales. I did get some of the vintage sales packed up and done, so I like to get them out as quick as possible, because obviously you don't get your money straight away like you do with eBay. So there's about 4 vintage sales I'll show you. I'll say the others that came in have been and gone. If you're new to the channel, my name's Dave. I sell online on eBay, Vinted, Facebook Marketplace, anywhere I can really. I've got Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook page as well. Yeah, so come and give me a follow. If you get to the end of this video and you like this sort of content, give me a like, subscribe, check out all my other videos and do the same with them. Anyway, let's get into it and let's have a look and see what sold this weekend. Right, so the sales on eBay we'll do first. So this is the first one, National Certificate Series Intermediate Engineering Drawing. Picked this up, absolute ton of books. I would have mentioned in one of my other videos. I have said that I'm going to go through the rest of them now, get rid of my world of books, because a lot of them are very, very low, you know, amounts that you're going to get for them. Really, it's not really worth it. So yeah, so this one sold for $7.99. Now when I do mention what I got for these items, that doesn't include the shipping. I generally don't include free shipping much. It's very rare I do. There is some listings I have got with free shipping. I'll mention that if that's the case, but generally I add at least £4 shipping on for most items so they can be packed properly. Or things like this, £3, which I send all Royal Mail 48-hour tracked. So that's the first one. Then we've got these, the Association of Engineering and Shipbuilding books. There's 9 of those. Again, these were all in that book bundle because of what they look like. I just thought, you know what, they look vintage, they're probably worth some money. I couldn't find any completed or sold or any even listed on eBay, so I tried various prices. They've been on there for about 8 months, to be honest with you, so they've took a long time to sell, but in the end they've gone for £9. So that's those out the way. Next one, we have something that has been listed for absolutely, I think 2 years, possibly 3. Definitely 2 as a minimum, maybe more. I picked up a load of, I think it was Private Eye magazines. There's also loads of Beano comics, things like that. And then weirdly, there was this random box. It was all free as well, which was quite good. It's just this massive house in Swanlincote, I think it was, if that's how you pronounce it. Clearly not short of money. Huge house, loads of cars outside, looked like a bloody mansion. And this guy just wanted to get rid of a load of stuff, and I filled my car with it. It was free. And there was this box in there. I got all this Cliff Richards memorabilia, and I got rid of all that. And then there was loads of individual tour programs. I sold loads of them quickly, but then this one, and I think I've got another one, just sat and sat. I've reduced it, I've done all sorts of things. I was thinking about binning it. I was getting sick of seeing him, to be honest with you. I'm not a massive Cliff fan. Apologies if I've offended any Cliff fans out there. So that's gone for $5.99. So after the fees, absolute waste of time really, but it's got rid of it. You know, it's been sitting around, and it saved itself from going to landfill, because that's where it was about to go. So what do we have next? So we've got Rupert the Bear book, 1973. This is sold for $8.99. I picked this up with a load of vintage annuals probably about 5 months ago. I do big pickups of annuals, but this wasn't a massive huge one, but like it got various Rupert annuals that were worth like 20 quid and stuff, 25 quid each. And then these individual ones you can generally get between sort of 6 to 10 quid, depending on what, you know, they are, and if it's inscribed, if it's like unclipped. This one's unclipped, which is great. It has got an inscription, but they're not really bothered, and I'll say it's in good condition. So that's gone for $8.99. That's that. Next one is, get it over here, is a Thomas the Tank Engine. You won't be surprised at that, because you know I sell a lot of that. And that is Take Along and Play Sir Topham hat. or Fat Controller, as he used to be called. Don't know if they call him that anymore, if it's politically incorrect. That's sold for $7.99. That was in the bundle that I picked up just after Christmas, first week of January, I think it was. And I paid 30 quid for absolutely tons of them, hundreds of them. And there was loads in there worth a lot of money. And then some of these individual ones, because I've been selling for so long, I know I can get a decent price for that. I know it's not amazing, $7.99, but when you pay 30 quid and you're making your money back quick, it's not too bad to get that for that. So that was that one. And we move on to yet another Somerset tank engine. This time it's Mavis, and this is the Ertl range, which was one of the first range that they bought out, you know, before they did the take and play magnetic ones. It comes with a breakdown crane as well. I got this off eBay. Yeah, I sniped a bundle off eBay. I think I paid 22 quid because there was 3 of them in there that were worth £25 each. So obviously I get my money back instantly from one, and there was loads of profit. The other ones I sort of bundled up, and then this was one of the individual ones in there, and that sold for £7. So that's that. And we then move on to the Beano and the Dandy 1937 to 1988 classic comic covers. This was in the big bundle I've talked about in one of my other videos, if you want to go and check that out. Well, drove up to Scotland. I think it was the week after, no, it was the week before the eBay Open, because I remember telling a few people there about it. I hired a van, went up to Scotland, paid out 1,400 quid. If you want to check one of the videos out, it's on there. I'll discuss all about it. This was in there. I had a similar one like this. I sold for 40 quid. This one was going for between 20 and 30. I put it on for 30, couldn't get no bites, 25. Now it doesn't owe me anything because I've sold vast majority of everything in that bundle. Dropped it to 20 quid on, I think, Saturday, and within an hour it sold. So I was happy with that. So that went for 20 quid. Happy days. Next one is Somerset tank engine train again, on the Tommy Trackmaster trains. Now this is Duncan. I'd normally get about 18.99, 20 quid for this with a couple of carriages. But unfortunately, you can see on the back there, look, it has a chip to the back. Now, I've mentioned this in the description title. You can see that there. I've put chip at the back. I've mentioned it in the description. Once you've done that, there's pretty much not much else you can do. If someone hasn't read that what's in the description, then I'm sorry, that's not my fault. I generally put a message underneath in my description saying no returns if you've not read the title or description, because let's be honest, what are you doing if you're not seeing that? So that's gone for $10.99, even though it's got the chip, which is nice. So that's that out of the way. What have we got next? So next we've got the Beano card game from Waddington's. I actually had this game myself when I was younger, and I sold my own one of it. I picked this up with that bundle of annuals when I went to Scotland. There was all sorts of different memorabilia in there, as well as vintage annuals, and this went for £12.99, so that's not too bad. It's complete, it's got all the cards in there. Obviously going to be going to a collector. I have mentioned the box isn't in the best condition, but obviously not bothered about that. It's all in the photos I mentioned, so that's good. Then we've got this large track set, Somerset tank engine Tommy. What is it? Beige track set, 60 pieces. All sorts of different bend strokes in there. There is this. This is the electric company. If I can get it out. Struggling to at the minute. There we go. Yeah. So Soda Electric Company. It lights up. It hooks up to, well, I think you slot something in, then it hooks up to the track, and that I'll show pictures of it lighting up so they know it works. It's got batteries in it. I'm sure they'll replace them. That went for £21.99. I've had to pay $7.99 postage for that because although it's not that heavy, it's quite bulky. Because of these pieces, I'd have been able to get it in probably get it in a smaller box. I would have really, and it wouldn't have been a bigger postage cost to them. But those are quite long, and it's difficult to get them in a box that doesn't go up to medium parcel. So that's why I charge the extra on that. So what we got next, we have this vintage Battle Action Force annual from 1986. That's sold for £8.99. I picked a bunch of handles up about 4 months ago. There was a Facebook Marketplace post Somebody said there's 2 full boxes of annuals, first come first served, don't have to pay anything. And I looked, I thought, well, at the end of the day, it's free money. It was actually about 20 minutes from where my lad has his golf lessons, so I thought I'll drop him off, go and pick that up. I was lucky to get it. No one else had asked the lady for them. She said, I'll chuck them outside, we're going out. So I just pulled up, picked 2 tubs of them up, had a look through. I listed some of them in bundles because they weren't in the best condition, and sold them in bundles for like 20 quid. And then the individual ones that were worth half decent dough, I got listed up. I've got quite a few of them left, I think, on there listed, but when you haven't paid anything for anything, it's all profit, isn't it? So you do need to look out for these free pickups, guys, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's free money, isn't it? You're not, you know, paying anything out straight away. So also there's no rush to sort of list it. If you do stick it in your unit or your cupboards, or wherever you keep it, your storage unit, for a rainy day, for when you haven't got any stock, it's good then, because you've got like something as a bit of a backup to list, that you haven't paid out for, so you're not having to think, shit, I need some new stock, I'll have to pay out some money if sales are slow, I need to keep listing. You just think, oh yeah, I've picked up that free pickup, I'll get them up on there. So yeah, that was £8.99, like I say. Next one, now this, I don't know why I bothered listing this, I really don't. This has sold for £4.49. Now I think I listed it for £5.99. I think I'd accepted an offer for £4.49 or something, just to get rid of it. I don't know why I listed it on its own. It's a vintage car magazine, Street Machine. It's got the stickers on it. I mean, it's not like I've listed it for 15, 20 quid. I was absolutely pointless. I'd got a load of them, and this one just stood out, and I thought, well, that'll go on its own. But by the time you took the fees off, £4.49, what is the actual point in me making any effort to, like, with posting this and wrapping it up? A bit silly, really, but, you know, we do these silly things sometimes as resellers, don't we? So next one, so if you've watched my recent video, you'll see, and if you haven't, go and check it out, you'll see I picked up hundreds and hundreds of these audio books. I paid 30 quid. I've only managed to list about 8 or 10 of them, to be honest with you, because I went away the weekend. Me and the missus went to Shrewsbury and had a nice time there, and I haven't really done anything all weekend as such in terms of work. So I've got to get tons of them listed this week. This was one of them, Brideshead Revisited. Got 10 cassettes in there. That sold for £12.59. So obviously I paid 30 quid for all of them. So if they're going to go for sort of, you know, between 8 and 15 quid a piece, some of them will, I'll easily get my money back on them and should make some decent profit, hopefully. I've just got to get my arse into gear and get them all listed. So that's that. And the next one is Leslie Thomas, This Time Next Week, the Companion Book Club. This sold for £16.14. I think this was on for £18.99. I took an offer, accepted an offer, sorry. This book has been in my unit for a year and a half. I bought out another eBay seller, basically, about a year and a half ago. He was basically, he stopped reselling. Him and his wife were ex-teachers, and they went back into teaching, retrained, and then he was selling all his stock, and a lot of it was right up my street, like old vintage annuals, comics and stuff. So I had a really good deal with, you know, buying him out. I didn't spend a lot, but I got a lot of stock, and I've still got some in the unit. So slowly, obviously, you know, just like all of you guys, I listed all the bloody choice stuff, didn't I, and dumped all the rest at the back, like we do. Then you got your little death pile to attack, and I've just been bringing a few things back every now and again, having a look, research, and listing them up. Sometimes they're worth sod all. This one, I'd seen 2 people had got sort of 17, 18 quid, so I chucked it on. And as I say, I took an offer, £16.14 out the door. Lovely. Next one is, this was from a repeat buyer who bought this. Tom and Jerry, Tom's Happy Birthday, MGM's. It's from 1955. Now, what cracks me up about this is it says a big television book. It's as thin as anything, and all the pages are there, believe it or not. Look at that. Absolutely thin as. And I have said in the listing that it's literally been held together by one, I think it's 1 or 2 pieces of string. Look, it's very, look, it moves. It's not out yet, but it won't be long before it is. I have warned about this in the description, so as it's a repeat buyer, I'd expect he knows the sort of quality I send out. He'll look at the description, he'll know what he's buying, so I shouldn't have any hassle from that. But Lovely storybook, to be fair. I'm sure we all watched Tom and Jerry at some point in our lives. I certainly did. And yeah, so that's sold for 10 quid. That's that one. What have we got next? Thomas the Tank Engine, Thomas, Annie and Carabao. This is the Trackmaster Revolution one. Get these all the time. Like I say, if you whack Annie and Carabao with these, if you sell this on its own, you're going to get like 2 quid or something for it. No one's going to be interested because everybody's got the basic Thomas. It comes with all the sets. Chuck Annie and Carabao with them and you get £8.99, sometimes £7.99, sometimes £6.99. It all depends what time of the year it is, weirdly. I don't know why. But I've been chucking these on Vinted as well and they've been doing well. But yeah, that's gone on eBay for £8.99. That was in a bundle I picked up just before Christmas. Massive, huge bundle. So it doesn't owe me anything really, but yeah, £8.99 out the door. So the next one is, I sold a load of these the other day. I think I did mention in another video I was going to dig out tons of these. So I've got a box full of them. Just some little stations really that people like to use in model railway and stuff. They're from various Thomas full sets where obviously this fits onto a track. I've again mentioned this in the past. And then if the set's no good, it's broke, I'll just take the houses off, the stations off, apologies, and sell them on their own. That's sold for £9.99. So that's those out the door. That was again, you know, inside bits that I found knocking about. I'm trying to, like I say, get through bits of death pile as I can. Now the next one is the big sale. So we have the Dandy Monster comic from 1941, so a wartime issue, so it's very rare. Not many of these around. Now, obviously, I think this may be the 3rd or 4th book, I think. Some of the first ones, obviously like the Beano, they can go for thousands of pounds, or absolute thousands. If this was in absolute mint condition, unfortunately it's not, and it has got that piece, look, missing out of there, which is a damn shame. It's not in bad condition, but, you know, it's a bit tattered. But all the pages are there. There is an inscription in again which knocks it down. I probably could have got 600 plus maybe for this. Maybe I've seen some listed for that. Don't see anyone selling it for that, but I've seen some listed for that. But because of the condition it's in, this is sold for £200 yesterday. When I got back from Shrewsbury, my weekend away, as I say, I haven't had a mega weekend. I've had decent sales, I suppose, but nothing amazing. And then this come through, so I was happy with that. As I say, because my shop fee, 92 quid, was coming out, so that's helped along with that. So glad to get this going. It doesn't owe me anything anyway, really, because this is from the big bundle I picked up when I went to Scotland. All the choice ones went quickly, all the nice ones went for good big money, and then it's just what was left, really. And I did expect this to go a lot quicker, I must admit. I've had it on for various prices. I've tried promoting it different ways. In the end, I dropped the promotion on it. I dropped the price to £265. This guy was chipping away yesterday with offers of 120, 140, 100, and all. In the end I counted him with 200, and I said, look, this is the least I can let it go for, because once the fees come off, that's going to knock it down even more. And he went, yeah, that's a fair deal, and he bought it. So obviously he'll be looking forward to getting that. And it's a lovely item, to be honest. I mean, you'd love to keep the thing, but you know, I'm not a storage company, so you know, get it in and get it gone. That's that out the way. Next one, well, the next one I can't do because it's at the unit. So the final one on there for eBay is some Thomas the Tank Engine take and play trains. This was in the bundle I picked up just before Christmas. Sorry, just after Christmas, like I said. And I sold some in bundles. Some individually were worth quite a few pounds. This one's gone for 10 quid. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somebody asked me actually on Saturday, just as we were setting off to Shrewsbury, if I could take 3 of these out and sell them for £6. And I just said no, unfortunately not, because they're listed on multiple different marketplaces and I'd have to get them all back out, re-photograph them. It's a bit of a faff really, when I've got it on for sort of £10.99, I think it was, and someone's offering you 6 quid for 3. What's the point? Like, there's no point. So in the end, I think I took an offer of 10 quid. So they're all gone. That was good. So that completes the eBay sale for the weekend. So just need to go through the vintage ones. Right, so here's the vintage sales. Like I say, most of them I've done. packed up and got out of the way. There's been quite a lot of them, to be fair, but these are the ones I haven't done, so I'll show you these. So Tommy Trackmaster Farquhar Station track set just comes with a little blue tunnel, 2 trees, piece of track with a buffer on it. There's the station. That's gone for £7.50. That's part of the bundle I picked up before Christmas. Next one is, where are we? Oh yeah, Take Along with Clive Gordon. That's gone for £6.50. That's just lights up, says various phrases. There we go. That's gone for £6.50. This was a nice one. I picked this up. Bloody hell. I'd say I picked this up last year in April or May. Drove all the way down to Surrey. I won an auction on eBay, 2 auctions. It was 120 quid in total. Loads of old annuals, loads of memorabilia. Made absolute tons on it. It was really good. Well worth the trip. I've got the odd little bit floating around. This is a keep out unless you're tough, Desperate Dan. Basically a wall sign from 1990. It's quite rare. I've seen people get 40 quid on sold to a few people. Tried all sorts of prices, couldn't really shift it. Dropped it to 25 quid, still nothing. Stuck it on Vinted and it sold within 2 hours. I had 80 odd people look at it, 40 people favourite, sent loads of offers out, and in the end it went for £24.99. And then we've got another station, another little tunnel, some trees set, and that went for £8.99. That completes the Vinted sales. Like I say, I've done quite a few of them, gone packed out. I need to get these ones done. And then obviously, yeah, the money will come in. I've got about 100 quid, I think, sitting on there that should come in the next day, I'd have said, because I think they've all got them now, just waiting for them to confirm it. So anything with Vintage, you send the stuff out, then you've got to wait for your money. Obviously eBay comes in straight away, so obviously there's pluses and minuses with those, pros and cons with both. But that, yeah, that completes the Vintage sales. Right, so that concludes the Vintage sales. We've done the eBay sales from over the weekend. The other Vintage sales that I had, like I said, I packed them up and got them out the door. So I just need to pack all that up now and get that collected. Don't know if I've spoke about it before, but I used to have a drop and go account. Go to the post office, drop all your stuff off with like a manifest. They process it in their own time. But then Royal Mail started doing a collection service. Originally it was free, I think, just to get you on board. Then they started charging 30p for a pickup. But if you do so many parcels, say today for example, I haven't touched on this already, tomorrow morning when I do some more, if I want to add to it, just to add to today's collection, it normally says ask your postie, I'm sure they'll pick them up, blah blah blah. They don't charge the 30p then, so you're just literally sending them out for what they are. So I generally do that. I do a load, and then the next day I do some more in the morning before they come. And I've found it a lot easier. I haven't got to waste any fuel, any of my time going to the post office, dropping the stuff off, and waiting for all that to be processed. Literally, they come and collect it from my door. They bring the labels. I stick them all on. They come back in about 10 minutes, pick them up, scan them all. It's all tracked then on eBay as well, which is brilliant. And yeah, I just find that the easiest way really to do my parcels, to have them collected from my door. So if that's something that you haven't looked into yourselves, that you've got a lot of parcels building up, you have to keep going to the post office, didn't realise they did this service, or you were a bit sceptical about it, it's really good. As I say, I've very rarely have any trouble with Royal Mail. They're generally the best. Every nightmare, but obviously I'm Vinted. Like I said in my previous couple of videos, I don't tend to stop anyone choosing what they want. If they want to send it Vinted, they can. I just make sure I absolutely triple pack it, because every are very good at breaking things, even when it's bomb proof, as I'm sure you all know. So yeah, if you've liked the video, you like this sort of thing, check out all my other videos, drop a like on there, subscribe. As I say, drop a like on this. Any comments I'll reply to, so if you've got any questions, when I've got 5 minutes, I'll have a look, and if I can answer the question, I will. I'll give you an honest answer. So yeah, drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. And I hope you all have a fantastic week and you have some wicked sales. See you later, guys.